fry and a day. Wow. I don't think I've heard it broke up like that before. I don't think I've
It
heard
is
it
a
broke up like
fry. It is a fry and a day. That's what
that.
this is. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. But it was so much that I've been able to accomplish that I'm just like, damn. Okay, I
Oh
need a
wow.
rest. It's a good thing. So what y'all will be seeing from me in a shoot in a short few time
What's this in
because
the
of,
shoot?
and it's been a great encouragement. Cybersecurity Awareness Month. You guys know this is October. We are in week 3, and it's been so good to create again the blogs and have all the pieces together. So for all of my folks who are in the Brand Misfit collective, that's my email newsletter. They've been getting updates, they've been getting links to the new content, and I also have some nice little goodies. I have some guides coming out, so that's all been through the collective. If you want to get those guides, you want to get those updates, you want to get all the new stuff that I have coming out, that's where it's going to drop first. I'm just going to be real. So join the Brand Misfits Collective, my email newsletter. Head on over to brooklyn.customdesigns.com/join the collective. So you
Okay.
can be notified. You get all that directly in your inbox. I don't want to hear all that yin yang. I don't
Oh
spam
wow. Not
people.
the
I don't
Indian.
like spam, child. So you're not going to get that from me.
You don't hit them up with the spam.
I don't do the spam, honey, but yes, I'm getting back into the crux of it all when it comes to my email list. I'm gonna give them the joys and the goodies that I know that I've always been wanting to give them. So now it's all set up and aligned. That's my thing. The content is aligned perfectly. So cannot wait. So like I said, that's they've been already getting stuff. So they're about to get some guides, some tips, and some actual actionable strategies that they can use and keep it moving, get their stuff together. And of course, website strategy. That's what I'm dropping for them too. They're gonna get a bunch of things and guides, and I have some new things that I'm setting up that the Brand Misfit collectives are gonna get first. They're gonna get access to first. So I can't wait for that. And yes, Carl, tell the folks about the people who have been helping us, our sponsors, so we can make sure that they get the love. And of course, they going folks want to hear about your clarity session. But let the folks know about Martin Pratt.
Yo, this is my man Martin. Y'all thought I was about to say Lawrence, right? Martin Pratt. My man Martin Pratt got the black tube box. It's autograph copy, $24.99, right? You can't beat that. Not only that, the collective is that you also get a personal consultation with the purchase, right? You can't beat that with a stick. Also, if it's not for you today, you can also get it for the holiday season. You can gift this to someone else that can utilize what's in this toolbox. It's definitely something that you could pass on. It's definitely something that you can need to encourage you to have you be able to succeed and utilize some of the tools that he mentioned and he talks about in this. So go grab it today, Martin Pratt. .com, the blacktoolbox.com. I'm sorry about Martin Pratt. Go and get your autograph copy today.
Yes, and we have our friends Russ and Scott. They do the live business mastermind group, and we in there too. Carl and I
Yes,
in there too. Where we get to talk about our days, our weeks, what did we do, what went right, and what didn't.
yes, yes.
Because
Right.
it happens to all of us. And then we also get to vibe off of technology. So, maybe something's going on with the all the streaming platforms, or maybe there's a new gadget out that we'd like to test out. That's how we get to know what's in the know so we can, elevate, step it up. Because we've done the whole press the button and record and just try it out. We've done that. Now it's to what's the next step that we can take in our live streaming, and of course for our businesses. So if you feel like that's a group that you would like to be in, where you can actually have a conversation, you're not being talked to, this is the mastermind group that you should be joining. Head on over to russhedge.com and join the live mastermind. Carl, tell the folks about your clarity session because I know you just opened that back up.
Yes, Clarity Sessions back on. I'm taking on new clients for this holiday season, trying to prepare you for Q4. And I've also structured this as well to open up with the vulnerability sessions that I really had gotten away from for a bit. Been so busy with some other things, but I had a few people ask me, "Yo, are you bringing that back? Because I need what you're talking about." So book your clarity session now. We're going to take you through. That's how you can do it. Scan the QR code. Go check it out. Make your appointment. Make the date. We go through it. I lock it down for you. We put a plan together and we help you implement your action, right? You want to be better for Q1. It's coming up fast. It's already the end of October, right? So January is right around the corner and you want to be prepared. This is for my leaders, for my executives, and for those who are leading their own journeys as well. It's for you. So go get your clarity session today.
Yes. And speaking of sessions, I have a few limited seats left for my strategy sessions, website strategy. You know, you need to know better how to use your website. It's 2023 on the brink. On the brink of rising from the darkness. And everybody be scrambling and stuttering, like, what? I got to get my website together. I got this. I got this I want to launch. I got this I want to do.
Yes.
Start now, plan now. So you're not one of those folks scrambling when 2023 knocks at your door. You don't want to be
True.
scrambling trying to clear everything up and be ready and welcome it through the door. Welcome it through the door with a strategy in mind so you know how to market your business using your website. You're going to use everything as a cult of a collective. So don't think that only social media can get you that recognition. Your website is actually the foundational mark for you. That's where that can always be a place that you control the narrative. So why not build it the way you want to? Why not set it up the way you want to? And that's through a strategy. So head on over to brooklyn.customdesigns.com/strategy, BKLYN, customdesigns.com/strategy. And make sure that you are booking today so you can get your plans in order. And child, we have been working on all the things this year. So Carl, let the folks know what's been your experience with cybersecurity, because Quentin said that this is his jam. And he's here.
Yeah.
He couldn't resist but be a part of this to listen. But what's been your experience?
Yeah, my experience has been well. It started. It really started. My experience started negatively, right? Like, as just some of you know, and I've already said quite a few times. I mentioned in the essence of talking. I was not on social media of any kind. All right, I had LinkedIn since 2008, and I really wasn't using that. And it was just for the simple fact of how I felt about social media, and I thought I can do those kind of things, which I did in person. So it really wasn't nothing that I was dependent upon to do relationship building or even to network with people because we had that availability. But I come to find, just like so many of us in the world, that that was cut off to us during the pandemic. So I was like, oh, I got to jump in. And of course, the naivety of me jumping in set me in motion for a lot of things to happen, right? The first thing I did when I got an Instagram account, I think a month in, it got jacked. So, and somebody sent me something. I was not aware of that because I wasn't in that. So they sent me something, it looked legit. I clicked in there. The next thing you know, they had everything within my Instagram account. So the fear of that and just feeling violated with that really put me on the premise of understanding, yo, this cyber stuff is not nothing that you watch on TV. It's not nothing that you just think can affect you or it's affecting them. Like it is really that for me, it hit the doorstep, it hit the front door, and it became to my home. And at that point in time, I started trying to learn and educate myself on it. And then thinking about it from a business standpoint or services that you offer, you have people paying you with their personal credit card information. And even though a hack is going to be a hack, right? You can't. I mean, big business, NASA got hacked, the Pentagon got hacked. You're going to get hacked. But I didn't have anything in place to save them or to even protect them as far as my own self. So those things I had to start saying them. And no, first thing I thought about was the price. Of course, I know I got a lot of y'all right there in the crawl. And I was like, oh, it costs a lot to do this. No, it was simple things I did. Protect my firewall. Add these antiviruses. We're going to talk about them too because you got to go past that. But these are these are the initial things I did to try to set myself up, start talking to people that's in that kind of network, giving me the little tips and advices of what I could do that wouldn't cost me a lot, what I can engage in, what trainings I could take so I can be on the lookout for the phony emails that's so real that you think it's, that individual company or corporation. So those are some of the things that I realized that, this is a serious matter and you have to take it as such. And offering services to someone or products into someone, they're going to be purchasing. You open yourself up. Not only that, me being a legal dude as well, you open yourself up liability to just crush all that you've worked hard for. So cybersecurity is definitely not a joke.
Yes, and Giannis asked a great question.
Hmm.
With the human psyche can be a true enabler of
Yes.
cybercrime. Is there a link between psychology and cybersecurity? And I think, in a sense, there is, because you
Hmm.
mentioned it. A lot of times we feel a little bit of arrogance. We're thinking, it's not going to happen to me. Nobody bothering me. Nobody
Not in
care
my
about
hood,
me.
homie.
Right? It's not about me. That's what a lot of folks assume, and unfortunately, that's the perfect mental state that a cyber hacker needs, is that you're not aware, or you don't care enough to secure yourself, to use certain tactics or controls that are available to you, and you decide, I'm good, or you get complacent. That's what they're hoping for. That's what they want. They tend to jump on our laziness, and that's what it is sometimes, a form of laziness, where we do basic, really generic, super easy to remember passwords, and we're thinking, oh, because I tend to forget, I don't want to forget. But you're also not remembering, especially with a lot of these social engineering tactics that are going on, because I just saw one that TikTok is about to release, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. That a lot of folks, what they want to do is talk about themselves a lot, and you tend to talk about your favorite things that you love to do, places you love to go. And a lot of folks also, either subconsciously or consciously, they're using those same loves as their passwords. So all a hacker does is what? They listen. They
That's it.
create technology that listens to you, that gathers data online for a purpose, so they can start seeing a trend in your behavior. And it's that trend that allows them to start testing things out, right? They want to practice. They want to see, what are you going to do? And if enough people fall for a tactic, that's going to be their go-to. That's why you see a lot of these email phishing scams are on the rise. That's a tactic that people know, like, hey, if I can use something that's close to a friend or a family member, maybe if I scare them. Another tactic that folks are doing, and it's not completely cybersecurity, but it's something where folks are calling other people and pretending to have their family member under distress, and
Mhm.
and they're demanding funds for that. It's the same thing if someone sends you a link and it looks like it's from a reputable company that you deal with, and you click that link thinking, oh shoot, something happened. They're putting you under distress, so you don't think things through. So a lot of it is psychology, because they are depending on attacking our psyche. They're depending on breaking us down and hoping that we won't think fast enough, or we won't pause ourselves. Because we've had discussions like that too on Real Talk and on this show, where you have to pause yourself sometimes. Yes, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be scared, but you still have to be aware of, wait a minute, is this even legit? Like, where did this come from? Who's sending
True.
this to me? Right? And a lot of times it's just we're not thinking because we're under distress. So yes, they are connected. And thank you for that question, Giannis, because they are connected. Great question.
Yeah, great question. And you asked the right person, right? You asked the cyber queen, and you also asked the psychology major as well. So you kind of mix up. Giannis, I know you're trying to get brownie points. We coming to Greece. We coming. We coming. We coming. We
You a
got
mess.
it. We got
But let's jump into. Can I say you just dropped another one too? But I wanted to drop. Giannis dropped another question, but I wanted to
yeah.
also jump into the myth of today. And the myth of today is all I need is my free antivirus that came with my laptop, that came with my phone. I'm good. I don't need no other protection. That's all I need. I am good. That's not true.
Yeah. I just told you it wasn't true. I just gave you my example.
Ooh-wee. That's not true. Even if you put a nicely paid service together, a lot of times one thing does not protect you from all attacks. And then there's so many ways that you can be attacked that it's not just about an antivirus. It's not just about malware. It's also about how do you react to content. So that's where we're saying today it's people focused. How are you as a human interacting with these things, this content, devices that come to you? How are you browsing on the internet? Are you one that you like to go down rabbit holes and you're not questioning the links that you're about to hit? Because sometimes when we're in research mode too, we like to just see what's going on, and Google and Yahoo and Bing, they all give you all of these resources. Are they working on making sure these resources are legit? Yes. That's where some of the SSL certifications are coming in. They want you to have those certificates, and they're also making sure that your content is legit. You're writing actual helpful content, not just random spammy stuff. So they're trying on some parts, but it's still up to you. It's still up to us as individuals to say, before I click on this link, the headline sounds nice, but where's this link going? Who is this website? Are they reputable? I don't know. Right? So that's where you want to make sure that you have to be aware of how are you moving online. Those videos that you clicking on and watching, are they embedded with something? How are you moving online? You got to be careful with what's going on. There's interactive videos. There's a lot of things that are used to track you, because they may not be shutting down your laptop or anything, but they're actually embedding something to track you, cookies and all that stuff to track you. So you got to be careful of how you're using your stuff and how you're using your devices. So yeah, it's very unfortunate that so many people just assume they just have one thing in place and we're good. Like, you're not. You really have to be proactive, like we talked about last week, and you got to layer stuff up. That's what we're going to talk about next week. You got to layer up your devices and your security protocols, and you got to create protocols too, especially as Carl said, we doing business on LinkedIn. So you're going to have people coming to you, giving you their information, giving you their financial information. You need to trust the enterprises that you're working with. And you need to make sure that whatever channels you're bringing people through is secured. What do you think, Carl? What do you say
Yeah.
to that?
Definitely, because it's essential, right? You can't even talk about it enough, right? It's something that you can't never say, okay, I've gotten to this point, because as you are truly working hard, and then bear in mind this, right? Take this and just take this mental picture. There's companies that have devoted teams, resources, finances to keep hackers out. I'm talking about billions, in the billions of dollars. They put together teams so their cyber security systems and the things that you purchase. Amazon is one. I use them a lot because I have something coming to my house from Amazon just about every day. So I look at that as what the protections they put in, and go to the backstage of them. They got a whole team that's like, that's their job, fighting hacks, fighting the insecurities, fighting clickers that come in, and malware, and all of those kind of things. They're fighting those kind of things. So they have the resources to do that. You're looking at yourself. Most of the time, you're talking about solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, where our level of status is not of that. Our financial piece is not of that. So we can't do that. So what are some of the things that's really going to help you in where you are? You have to get involved with that, get educated with that, get into the circles of where people are talking about that. There's a lot of arenas that's having, and a lot of communities that talk about cybersecurity all through the year. They don't just talk about it in October. So find out about that when it's not presence of mind, because now it's a presence of mind, so everybody's alert. So the hacker's probably just chilling. They've been running with you all year. And it's like, okay, October, we take our vacation in October and let them get all their little information, which they ain't gonna do, and then we'll come back to it in November, hit them up real hard because the holiday season coming out. Do you know from now until the new year, online purchases always hit an all-time high. People are always shopping. They're more apt to put their credit information out there to make purchases, to get credit cards, to receive products. So this is a point in time where you need to really be vigilant, if not always. But these are some of the things you need. And go past the antivirus. Yes, I had the antivirus. Yes, I do. I bought it with my Mac, and then I call myself a little special. I got the little year bonus. I thought I was doing something. Got the little year bonus, and that didn't make no difference because my little stuff got hacked just like I ain't had nothing. Like I was out there in the cold with just a bath towel. So you don't want to have that feeling because it's a bad feeling once your stuff has been breached. And I'm not gonna send you nothing like I'm not gonna talk about the company TransUnion and send you something that says I'm gonna give you 3 months of monitoring. Well, I think you was monitoring my stuff all the time, so I don't need your three free months of monitoring. So you need more than antivirus.
Yeah, so it's really about making sure that you're layering, you're
Yeah.
using different tactics to secure yourself, your business, your personal information as well, and your clients. You want to make sure that people who work with you are secured, and you want to stay educated, like Carl and I were mentioning, and even Quentin has been saying the same thing. You educate yourself. Educate the best practices. Create a best practice for yourself every month. Make sure that you go back and dump out all your cookies. If you're not somebody, I have it where my browser, as soon as I close it out, it empties out all those cookies. It deletes all of that. And then I also have things implemented that it blocks most sites from tracking me. And I tell it, don't track me. So, that's just one thing. Are they going to listen? Who knows? I'm going to say they don't listen. They don't give no craps. They probably looking for people who say don't track me so they can track you. So, but the what I'm trying to get at is I have multiple things in place to make sure that I'm not just willy-nilly all over the internet. And yes, you want to look for secured URLs. Who took the time to put up a actual certificate for SSL? And that's just to make sure that what SSL does, it helps encrypt your information. And there's different that they want the free SSL. That does not always give you a level of encryption and security. So I say pay for your SSL certificates. I do. I have my clients pay for theirs. Not everything needs to be free. And security is one thing that you can look and see what
Jack, you're going in and out.
to go. Am I still going in and out?
No, I hear you now. I hear you now. Go ahead. Say something.
Okay. I'm in yellow,
Yeah.
so let me
Okay.
know.
Yes. Go ahead. Try again.
Okay, so yeah, so you want to make sure that you're adding different layers to what you're doing in your security.
Yes, and you want to make sure, and you also want to make sure that you know what you're having, right? I like that, Giannis. I like that. There's too many, there's too many bugs. I like that. That's about what I say to Apple because it seems like they send me an update for bugs every other week. But when you're talking about those layers, the important piece of that is to make sure what you're layering on too. All of this takes some action on your part as far as learning what you need. If you don't know or you don't even know how to research what you need, because you can't go down a rabbit hole with these things. If
Hmm.
you're not the techie kind, if you're not the understanding kind, and as long as I've been using computers and there, somebody did that to me, Quentin. They said, yeah, send me the HTTP address, and I was like, HTT. Seriously. And I log in every single day, multiple units on multiple screens on multiple networks. And it took me a minute to realize what the HTTP was. If you're not in that jargon and you don't know that jargon, find someone that does. Okay. And don't just find one individual, kind of like in those communities, which I talk about. Asking those questions, get the random information you need. Also, when you find someone that you can kind of like trust to give you the correct information, kind of walk them through what you're doing, because even though this is available to you, not all things cover you. Like that, Charlene was just saying, some of the things that you have, it could just be still you have it and you claim to be safe, but that's an open door for someone who knows what they're doing. Because you just got it because the name sound good. I got an antivirus, right? That really sounds great. That really sounds like you protected, like you got, like you got your Vic Sabs. If you got a cold, it sounds like you protected, right? Antivirus what? Protection against what? What does that allow in? What does it doesn't? What firewall does that strengthen? Which one does it let down? Like, so there's a lot of things in there that if you don't know what you're particularly offering your own self, get with someone and say, yo, this is what I do. This is what the service I offer. This is the format I use, whether it be Stripe, PayPal, whatever. This is what I do. They have theirs, but you need to have yours. So say this is what I use. This is who I use. This is who my customers can put their card information in. I don't retain it. You like just go through them, and then they can put together a strategy for you. Say, well, you may need this versus that. Now you're paying monthly for this, and this is not even protecting you. So these are the things that you have to be vulnerably about to say, yo, I don't really know, because it can cause great harm and damage and disrepair to your business if you don't have it, because it just takes one breach. Now, you think people ain't feeling funny about their credit reports since what happened with TransUnion? Of course,
Child.
they are one of the big boss. They're kind of like monopoly, so you can't not, credit doesn't not come through them. But like,
Right.
it's a lot of people not feeling some kind of way that their stuff was breached, and that's how they'll feel about your business. And actually, on your level, they won't come back and do business, and they'll
Right. They're not. They
split.
don't have to.
Yeah, they
You're
don't
not
have to.
have.
It's not, you don't have no monopoly. You out there coaching, it's a billion of them. I found one who got some secure cyberspace.
Who know
So
how to
yeah,
put who know how to put on a stronger antivirus. like, like, damn, you didn't even look at your alerts. Like, would you say
yeah,
that?
like you got alerts telling you that your password, it needs to be, it's on the, what I call it, the black web, needs to be on
Yeah,
the,
you my coach and your password is 123. Like, I can't do this. Like, I got to go. But
or four zeros. Or, you can just go
but
four zeros. You talk about something. Yeah, my stuff's secure. Yeah, little kids walking around opening up your files. So you better make sure that your stuff is prepared, right?
so that takes us into ways to stay ready, right? Is
Yeah.
part of it is consistently training yourself, training people you work with. If you're going to outsource to somebody, then make sure that they know what they're doing. They know how to use your tools and your information, whatever that they're browsing on their desktops and all of that. Their tablets are secured. They're not sitting there doing random stuff, leaving it open. That's another thing. It's not just about them online, but now they went to a coffee shop with their tablet, and your client's information is all open to the world, and they had to go get another macchiato. Like, for real, like
Wow.
like you couldn't close down. Like, I'm trying to understand what's happening.
I
So
can't
you
tell. I
don't
can't.
want to you don't want to work with folks who don't care, who
Yeah,
are not
that's
educating themselves, and who are not going the distance to secure how they work with you. You definitely want to make sure that you're working with people who know what they're doing, and can respect data. That's another thing about cybersecurity. You want people who can respect data, and that's part of the training. That's part of making sure that they're not sitting there and just doing risky things. And what is that? You're responding to phishing emails. You're not even paying attention to where these things are coming from. You're browsing all over the place. You're just clicking on random links. You're using low key crappy passwords. You're sitting there downloading random files. Like, if you know I don't send you random files, why are you downloading it and thinking you saying that it came from my client? Absolutely not. So yeah, you have to have those protocols in place, bring in the training, and then make sure that the people you work with are following the protocols, because that elevates it. That's why this is really people focused. That elevates it. And so I wanted to make sure that I brought back a stats for you that 95% of security breaches are because of human error.
Mm-hmm.
Human error. It wasn't because the cyber hacker was so amazing and so brilliant. No, it was just small things like I just mentioned. Human error that allow people to infiltrate and take hold and take control. So you got to constantly train yourself. There's new tactics all the time.
All the time.
Even if you're listening to the news, if you listening to your friend got hacked, well, how did that happen? What was it? You know, you want to keep your ear to the ground of what's going on around you. You can't walk in this world with blindfolds on anymore. You have to be educated in some way, shape, or form.
And it's your responsibility, especially when you're coming out there and you're presenting yourself as a business, right? There are different
Hmm.
things that there's different protections, there's different layers, there's different levels that you have to take precautionary because you have offered yourself as a business that take you out the private sector. You're more susceptible to things happening to you in your business if you're not protected. These are just some of the things. It's just like the insurance. I think we talked about it a couple of shows ago. The insurance for the vehicle. I've had mine 6 years. I have not been in an accident, but I paid insurance premiums every month for 6 years, right? I'm looking at it and I just was talking to my wife. I was like, I ain't even had no accident in that car and I've been paying for it. And I was just adding up all the premiums. I paid for another car while I was driving that car. But I
Just in
had to
case.
be, yes, but I had to be protected. And it's
Hmm.
never knows when it happened. You can't just say, that this doesn't happen to me. We've already seen how that does. People that have spent far more than you and have established far more safe space or cyberspace ness, if that's a word, they have been able to be breached. So therefore, you're not saying that you're not, because it's not a fail safe. But what it is, the protections are there to do it. Then not only that, then you have a leg to stand on, like my grandmother used to say. Now, if you didn't did a little bit something, now you got something that you could talk about, right? I've got all these in place. Your stuff was breached. I'm totally sorry, but I got these in place. I'm insured by. They're covering this. The monitoring, such as TransUnion, the monitoring is going to come. Those kind of things. So if you're, because they're going to happen. It's not if they're going to happen. It's when they're going to happen. And if you haven't
Right.
been hit, I'm not jinxing you to say that you are. All I'm saying is that you're more susceptible without things in place than you are with them in place. But there's going to happen. So you have to do that. The trainings are definitely a need. If you got a company, train yourself. You get training. If it's just you,
Straight back.
solopreneur, you get training. Take some. Google offer a lot of certificate training stuff. They do. I just was on there the other day. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know I could learn so much by just clicking it, and it's free. And it's free. I think the certificate is a little bit to pay for the actual certificate, but you can get the knowledge base. Is really what I'm saying. You can get the
Right.
knowledge base for free. You don't have to pay for it. They let you go through the whole course, take all the tests, everything. You just won't get no certificate for it. But these are the things that you, as a business owner, have to avail yourself to, and you're
Yeah.
going to have to ingratiate into you as a business owner who's operating services for people.
Yes, because if you don't allow yourself to understand certain things, then
Hmm.
there's no telling how someone else can take advantage of you. Because
Yes.
folks look out for that too. You're gonna have people who
Ooh.
say, "Oh, you know what? I'm an expert at such and such and such," and they bank on you not knowing what the hell they talking about. They
Carry you
bank
all the way
on
to
it.
the bank.
They bank on it. So
Mm.
you want to educate yourself just enough to be a little dangerous. To just be a little like questions to ask. That's how you really want to be. So you want to be able to ask certain questions. You want to be able to know, what do I need
Mhm.
in this cybersecurity world. So that's where our next way to stay ready is make sure you have procedures in place. What are you doing? What tools are do you have in place? What systems do you have in place? Are you automating? Who's the automated company you with? Do you have email online? Who's the email company you're with? There's so many new companies popping up all the time saying that they better than those who've been around for a while. And most of us, we like folks who've been around for a while because they've been through a gambit of things already. They already have certain things in place for security. They already know, hey, if my data gets breached, it's your behind. I'm coming for it. But a lot of these newbies, they're like, "Hey, we're new. We didn't know." Like most folks, they think that's a pass. You
Mhm. Ain't
cannot
no pass.
allow new systems and new people trying to jump into these different genres and avenues to get you. And how do they get you? They get you with the, "Hey, I'm new, try me out." Yeah, that's cool, but don't bank your whole business on them. Don't bank your personal data on them, right?
That's true. That's true because the the thing, and notwithstanding, not without it withstanding, just knowing the things that you need, the things that you provide, and the things that's available to you, they are banking on that. I thank God that I met Charlene because she gives me a lot of just passing conversation knowledge. So now I'm at a capacity that no, I can't go and code nothing, right? I can't go create no code or do no read. I'm still trying to learn to redirect, y'all. Do the redirect. But there are things and there are nomenclature and there are terminologies and there's jargon that we've discussed. She's gave me a simplistic understanding of. So now when I go to people and know that I have something, it's a what they call it, it's an educated consumer. Because now I have some knowledge my own self, so you just can't say, yeah, I'm gonna come and sell you XYZ virus that's gonna be the antivirus that's gonna do everything for your computer. She
Facts.
said, "Oh yeah. I see you use virus a couple of times, so that sounds like that's gonna be helpful. I see you use the term anti, so that means I'm protected, right? This is how you breaking it down because you're a novice. You don't understand nothing they're saying, right? But they didn't give you the ABCs of clownology, and you in there like, oh my god, yes, I'm gonna be protected. How much is that? $2,000 a month? Okay, all right. That sounds like because it costs a lot. That sounds like I'm protected." And man, they didn't do nothing but just unveiled you. They didn't just took all your covers off with what they give you, so they could go in and do that because you don't know. You up there thinking they didn't
Mhm.
use these fancy words which you have no understanding of, and best believe that jargon. I just told you I didn't remember what HTTP is, and don't ask me what it means. I know it's an acronym, but don't ask me what it really means because I can't tell you that either. But you got to have some kind of ability to have a informed, I'm sorry, conversation about that, and you also have to know what you particularly need for your business. That's really the mainstay of it because you get a whole lot of this stuff. They can sell you everything. You know how long I had McAfee, and I realized I only used one thing off of that, and I was paying
Mm.
80 some dollars a month for that, and I used
Child.
one thing because I didn't know, and they said protection, and I thought I was protected. But I went in there, I learned a little bit, and I said, I don't even use none of this stuff. Why was I paying for it? And then if
Mm.
I'm not paying for it, those are avenues where hackers could get in because you don't know the look. You don't
Right.
know what's
You
going
didn't know
on
it.
in that area. They do.
Right. Right.
So yes.
So another reason why, having a procedure in place
Mhm.
is because a lot of us are remote now. And
Yeah.
Quentin mentioned it. 2020, the pandemic kind of opened up the gates for a lot of cyber foolery to go on.
Yes.
And part of that is because we are remote, we are distant now. So our traditional parameters of what security should be is no longer really relevant anymore if we're so far apart in our locations, in the way we work as a team, and how we secure and keep data. You have that. This is why it's important to educate folks. So if they're going to work with you, you need to have a protocol of, hey, whenever we get files and stuff, they got to be housed here. They're going to be found here. I don't want to know that, oh, I can't find my client's receipts because they all on your hard drive, on your laptop or your desktop, and yeah, your
Mm.
joint crash. Like, I don't want that. But then you also have to be aware that a lot of these cloud companies, they're not yours anymore. Where we used to have companies used to house a lot of their own stuff, but
Yeah.
because they were saving money, they started outsourcing a lot of stuff. They started partnering up with a lot of third party people. So now your data is not really under your umbrella anymore. You have to now entrust that your partner is doing what they're supposed to do
Mhm.
because you offshored a lot of that stuff. So that's why it's important to have procedures in place. know that, okay, this is how we handle things. This is how we deal with data. This is how we store information. This is how we access information. If I tell you to log in through a VPN that is secured, then go in and do all your tasks, log back out, and then put your computer on pause, put a what is it, a sleep on your
Yeah,
computer.
put
So
sleep on
as
there.
soon as you walk away, if it's 10 minutes, I wouldn't even say 10 minutes. If you have not been active for a minute, it needs to be slept. It needs to go right to bed. And as soon as you try to wake it up, you got to put in your
Your
password. You got to
password,
put
right?
in a bio security, put your fingerprint somewhere, do something where you have added a layer of security to somebody trying to hack you. And like we said, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. There's no one stop shop. But when you add different hoops for somebody to jump through, it makes it harder. It makes it difficult that, wait a minute. Did they really jump through all 14,000 of my hoops? Or did somebody let them in through the back gate? Now we got to really figure out what's going on.
Yes, because it's not it's not that you don't understand that. It's not that you don't know that. It's not that you're not availing that. You've worked at places, you've done those things that you've had to do. You've had to work with secure information. You've had to work with um, stuff where you've went away from your computer. It went to sleep. You have to, as soon as you hit the mouse, you got to put your password in. These are procedures that companies you work for follow. If you never paid attention, right? Because some of us just
Hmm.
come to work, get our coffee, sit on the computer, be late, whatever the cause may be, and we really don't take none of these things in consideration because they're not our responsibility, right? A lot of things you don't take into importance because they're not your responsibility. Your responsibility may be to go in there, put your password in, do this report, make sure Joan or Jim have it at the end of the week, right? But when you move that mouse and that board and that computer is asleep, IT is on that. When you tune in your password to get back into the system,
Hopefully.
IT is on that. When you answer those emails and you know you at work, IT is on that. So I just want to
Hopefully.
yes, hopefully. I know they act
Hopefully.
like gods in the place because me and IT just did not get along. I just don't like that God presence that they bring along with answering your questions. Like, like they Thor and you like a little puny human. What do you mean you can't get in? What do you mean it won't let you in? Yeah, but that kind of thing. But
because
I
because
digress.
because there I'll speak a little
Yeah,
in
speak for them IT
defense.
people before I get all
I'll
speak
speak
for
a
them
little
IT.
in defense of IT, because yes, some are, they come across as uppity, but the majority is also a lack of people interaction, because a lot of them don't want to interact with folks. Why? Because folks are seen as a problem with some IT professionals, because people aren't listening, people doing what they want to do, people not dealing with the data properly. They're probably not securing their passwords right, so they're getting hacked. They're leaving their devices all over the place. So now it becomes all hands on deck emergency. But that's just how some are portrayed, how some feel. That's not the entire IT professional. So what it really is it really depends on the people. We have to pay attention to the protocols that have been set. It's not coming from the IT person that's asking you. And if a lot of times when they're asking us questions, they need to troubleshoot. They need to answer the people. So as they're helping you, don't forget they got to write a report about these things. They got to
Mhm.
write a understanding of, how did we get breached? What happened? What was the solution? How can we prevent this later? But if you are, as the user, are giving
Mhm.
attitude, then they give an
Mm.
attitude back, because they know at the end of the day, I got to still answer for this.
We
Especially
gonna move
if
on.
my name is on the ticket, I got to answer for this. How am I going to answer when you're not helping me? Right?
We
November is going
look.
to be help me help you month.
We gonna
Because
move on
because
because I don't. This is coming from the IT. This is coming
no,
from
no, no.
IT
I'm
department.
I'm I'm taking it from all sides. Yes, I have
Mm.
my master's in IT, but that's not the
Yes,
point. The
IT
point
people think they
is,
gods because you don't know
the
what you
point
talk about.
is, the point is, if someone is trying to help you,
Mm.
and you are also trying to help them solidify and get you back in action, there has to be a give and take. It
Yeah, I
cannot be
give. When I give you the
but it can't be
information,
general. It can't be I can't get in. How can
yeah,
you
I
not
can't
get
get
in?
in. I mean,
What?
I get
No,
the
no.
password. I can't
I'm
get
gonna deal
in.
with you offline because you taking us off. You taking us off the path. But this is part of why cybersecurity is people focused. We need to work together and
Ah,
answer questions. That's right.
that's together.
Cause
That's
Cause
together.
just like when your house gets broken into and the police show up, they're gonna be like, "Well, how did they get in?" You can't be like, "What you mean how they get in? They got in." No, they
Yeah,
got to
they got
figure
in,
out
homie. You figured out.
what's
You the
happening.
detective.
You mad at the wrong folks, but that's okay. We gonna pass what Carl going through because he back in Salt Valley, but we're not gonna do
Yeah,
that today.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. IT for all my IT people out there. Stand up, IT
No,
people. Stand up.
we not gonna do that to IT today. That's what we're not gonna do. So, but what we are gonna do is
Oh.
talk about how IT can be properly staffed so they can secure and safeguard us. We want to make sure that our safeguards are in a position to be defended. And if we don't have enough people, and what does that mean? That means, people are exhausted, they're tired, there's not enough of them to go around. Maybe there's so much happening at one time. You want to make sure that you are properly educating and staffing your security team. There needs to be better safeguards in place. You want to understand, like, okay, who's coming in, how are they getting in, how can we block all this off. You want to make sure that there's enough security around the access of how people are coming into your networks. When we have our home security and our home wi-fi's, did you secure that? Did you lock it in a way that nobody can just jump on your Wi-Fi? That's something else that people don't realize. When we're home or when we're on the go, Wi-Fi is a great way for people to hack you. And they can put that was an issue a while back that people were creating fake Wi-Fi's and saying that it was Starbucks or some small coffee shop, and this is the Wi-Fi guest number two, and then you're just like, oh, let me just jump on any of the Wi-Fi's that I see. And then before you know it, somebody is like how Quentin said, they implanted a bug. Now they watching all your keystrokes. They watching what you doing. You don't want to have that. So you need to make sure that the safeguards and enough security team members are around you, depending on how you're growing your business as well. Because I'm not only talking to solopreneurs, there's large and small businesses that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. They cut in corners at the wrong spots. And that's allowing security breaches to come into effect. You don't want that. So make sure that you're dealing with the right people, first of all, and that they're properly staffed, they're properly trained, and that they have the safeguards in place to help you, to help get you back up and running quickly. Because, like Carl said, it's not always about if, it's about when. So, when you get hacked, can somebody get you back online? If you have a hosting company and your website got attacked, can that hosting company help mitigate the problems for you? Can they get you back online in 24 hours or less? So you want to make sure that all of those are things in place. And then you're not sitting there scrambling and stressed out because now your website is down, your business is down, and you can't get back in. I see Carl is in the red. Carl, you there? Hold on. See, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi issues. But yeah, so while I see the call gets back on, that's going to be part of the things that you want to make sure that you have under control and you're tracking and you're making sure you're paying attention to. Quentin was saying, here's a major one: when traveling, do not, and I repeat, do not join random free Wi-Fi at hotels, shopping, and traveling. If you see 5 Holiday Inn Wi-Fi and 4 of them are open with no passwords, don't join them. And that's true. A lot of these companies and businesses, they have passwords they have passwords, and most of the time the password will be related to your email, or hopefully whatever it is that you needed to register with the hotel. They make sure that they use some type of information to verify that you belong in there. Your hotel room. Then you can use the actual password that the hotel has, but you want to make sure that you're not using a lot of these random Wi-Fi. And better yet, you can even talk to your cell phone company and see if they can give you a Wi-Fi that you can travel with, a hotspot you can travel with. It doesn't have to be your phone. I have my hotspot on my phone, but a lot of times companies sell a separate
Yeah,
device that's specifically for hotspot. And then you don't have to worry about nobody else's hotspot. You'll have your own. And what you can do is add added protection there. Create a strong password for your Wi-Fi. It's very important that you do things like that. So now you're not opening yourself up for liability and to
yeah,
be hacked. Thank you, Quentin, for that. Welcome
yes.
back, Carl.
Yes, yes, yes. See my Wi-Fi. Somebody hacked my Wi-Fi and put me out there. Yes. This all of this stuff is very important, guys, and we're sharing it with you. So a few comments was thanking us for sharing this with you.
Yes.
We kind of share this information throughout the year. It's not nothing that we have particular dates and times and months that we celebrate with the calendar. We bring it out when we think it's essential to, and we're coming into the season where it's really more. I don't know if there's strategically placed like this nationally because it's October and then you're going into the holiday months. But
Hmm.
strategically, for us to talk about it as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as us in this domain, especially I think Quinn mentioned earlier, with so much overusage of the online space due to the pandemic. Everybody is online, from kids to students to colleges to jobs to working from home to everyone is online. So if I'm a hacker, I'm sitting there just like with my belly like Santa Claus. It's just so much stuff to get involved in, right? It is just so much stuff. So you don't want to be the one that they fall prey to. And if you do, you want to have some things that insulate you from the devastation that can happen with that, because it can be devastating for your information or those information of others that have sat with you and did business with you, maybe long-term customers, maybe those that have bought their friends or whatever to buy your services. I mean, that link, those connected dots go way down the line. So if you're not the insulation piece from the door, you're going to affect a whole lot of people, and that's including them, their family members, and those that they've entrusted to know that. You look at the big picture of that, it's far more than I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay. Don't pay a couple of dollars more a month. It costs you. So these are the things that you really have to take in consideration. I can't reiterate it enough. Go by what you do. Do not just put money out on things that does not cover you and think
Yeah.
that you're okay. But like you said, put the proper staffing and security teams and the safeguards in place. Even if you're a entrepreneur, I say solo. I say if you're a entrepreneur, if it's just you, get that information from those. Put yourself in circles where that information can be given to you, and you can slowly or incrementally install or implement those things that's necessary to insulate you, because you don't want to hit it big and your name and products and services blow up and one person get hacked. Because then you're gonna be like, because lawsuits is like turning on water faucets. They are everywhere right now, and they running in full speed. And don't think attorney won't take one. I work
Mm.
with a lot of them every day, and they just be sitting around the phone like they at a campfire. Ooh, I'm waiting for this call. Waiting for this
There's
call.
crusty people in all industries. so
I'm
so
waiting
they
for this
ready.
call. I'm
You
waiting for
ready,
this
they
call.
ready.
This look like a
And
$1 million case.
and like Carl and Quentin was saying, when the pandemic hit, large companies got exposed, and one of them was the Marriott. They got
Oh
they
my
got for 5.2 million records by hackers. Like what?
and I know mine's in there because Marriott I use y'all every time I fly. I just was in a Marriott this past weekend.
You
So,
that's a ton of information. And
mm,
unfortunately, especially for organizations so large, that's not only customers.
yeah,
Don't forget they have employees that they
mhm.
have to manage the data.
Stakeholders, yeah, a lot of them.
Like what? So a lot of times we have to be super super aware. So that's what this was about today. It was about
Yes.
making sure that you remember that people are a huge part of cybersecurity. We, no matter what we do, no matter what technology that's in place, no matter how many times we write up a protocol, if the people are not following it, if the people are not educated about it, if the people are not in the know of, I have responsibility here too, because that's
Mhm.
where that comes in too. Accountability. If there's no accountability for this, then what's the point? People are just wasting time, and that's not what this is about. Cybersecurity month is just to help elevate the awareness. Like Carl said, the hackers know. They're like, oh, okay, y'all gonna get your little classes in. All right, go get your little class in. Somebody's got a brand new certificate from Google.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And when December come, of course, parents, like Giannis was talking about, the psyche of it all. Parents are in this huge rush, like, oh snap, there's only like one baby doll left. Like, remember back in the day they used to have the Cabbage Patch dolls, and God forbid they were running out. People were doing fisticuffs in the store. So now they moved that online. And with that being said, when you're online with all of this foolishness, and you're in this rush, and you're trying to fight to get all of that expectations, and get all those toys and all those last minute gifts, people are like, oh snap, it's on eBay. How much do I got to pay? Wait a minute. I see this website. I don't know this website, but I see the thing that I need, and my baby can't sleep at night until I get this. Like things like that, you have to pause and see where you going, who you giving your credit cards to, because it can't be that deep. You can't allow folks to do the gotcha on you for your money and for your data, because it's really about the data. Folks think hackers are hacking for money. A lot of times they're hacking for knowledge. They want to see if they can do it, confidence. They want to just say, yes, I did it. That's the clout. And then the money comes in, depending on how bad they get. Carl said somebody hacking here right now. Probably. They all
Somebody
in your
hacking,
they
somebody's
all in
hacking me right now.
they only your Wi-Fi. But you got to make sure that you are very much aware of how you are moving online. It's very people focused. Hey Karen. It's
Yeah.
very very people focused. What's up, Yolanda?
Wow, Yolanda.
um yeah, so you want to make sure that whatever you're doing online, folks, just please be aware, and don't just drop your guard down when it's something that you like. So Prime Day and all these Black Fridays and all that,
Ooh,
you don't know these folks. You just see what's going on. If they're not mentioned in multiple places, if you cannot verify these offers, these new online stores, be careful. Be
yeah.
careful. Yes, there's new businesses popping up all day, but if they're not trying to be mindful and put in their own preventions, meaning they're getting their SSL certificates for their websites, they're making sure that they are securing their platforms for purchases. If they don't care, then you should not be there. That's what I'm gonna say to y'all. Any last words, Carl?
Oh, that part. So you guys make sure that you keep yourself aware. Also, go and catch this on the replay for those who may have missed it and not was able to join us on live. Definitely check it out, walk through it, listen to some of the advice, some of the tips, some of the things. And we're not just having these conversations. Charlene is well adept and well educated and well knowledge and versed in these kind of things that we're talking about. Cybersecurity, just put it out there. So the things that she's saying you are things that are happening right now. And not only that, they're quantified by the facts and the corporations that you're hearing about in the news that this is happening to. So that lets you know right there it can happen to you. And Marriott, I just stayed with them. I think somebody hacked my points, Marriott. I had like a million. I think somebody
Really?
else, I
See,
think somebody hacked my points.
I cannot co-sign. These are the thoughts of Carl Sean Watkins.
Don't put the disclaimer in. Don't put the disclaimer in.
These are not the thoughts of
Oh.
credible vulnerability.
Yes, yes. I think since we were talking about Marriott, I just remembered I had like 1,000,000 points. I just say that's all.
I'm gonna leave him to remember that later, but but don't
This is
forget,
y'all.
make sure that you guys tune in next week. We're gonna talk about layering your
Yes.
cybersecurity. So yes, now we got the people in. Now we know what kind of technology we need. Now, how can we layer this up effectively? Because we need to be proactive and we need to take action. But we're gonna see y'all next week. Bye,
See
y'all.
y'all. Deuces. Have a great weekend.